call to order.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Thanks for everybody for coming on.
All right, on March 11th, 2022, notice of this meeting was posted to the official Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency website and emailed to both the Carrier Post and Gulf City News newspapers for publication. The official notice clerk was emailed on March 11th, 2022, which included requests for publication for the notice to the official Bellmawr website and bulletin board. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. Flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Chairman Frank Philippak.
Present.
Vice Chair Ray Bider.
Here.
Commissioner James D'Angelo.
Here.
Commissioner Nick Kapados.
Here.
Commissioner Tom Whitman.
Here.
Commissioner Neil Patel. Commissioner Jeff Simpson. All right, management professionals, Josh Rear, the executive director. I am here, Mike McKenna, agency
Present.
solicitor,
Here.
and Dennis McNulty, agency engineer.
Here.
Just 1 second, I catch up on my notes. All right, standard agenda for this evening, which will also include the audit. Begin with the reading of the minutes. This will be for the regular meeting, February 15th, 2022.
Motion we accept the minutes.
Chairman, I have you on the motion, Mr. Bider on the second. Ray, can you just second it, please, officially?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bider. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
nays? Ayes have it. All right, communications. We did receive the Redevelopers Report from Big Timber, and that has been sent with all the materials, as well as the quarterly report for Q1 from the traffic engineer, which includes an update as well. And then we can move on to commission reports. If anybody has anything, please say so. All right, we'll bring us to the executive director's report. As I said, we in the emails that I have, we finished the audit, and we'll get to that. With Edmonds and that conversion, 2019 and 2020 were complete. The 2021 data is in the final validation now. And then with 2022, that's currently being QC'd, and that'll be done by 4/15. So this will all be a big hurdle. You know, again, and having audit 2019 done as well will allow us to stair step a lot of the outstanding reports that to bring us current by the end of the year. With that audit 2019 on the agenda is the resolution to certify it. Also, that will need to be circulated as an affidavit that each of you will sign. I will send that under separate email cover. Those items have to be packaged with the official report, a few other things, and sent up to the DCA, Bureau of Authority Regulation, for finalization and record keeping. With that, now we're moving in line with getting everything together for audit 2020. We'll move right into that with Bowman. That is in process, and we're targeting the May meeting for what we're doing tonight, presentation and certification. Excuse me. So the synopsis of the audit is here. And basically, this is the condensed version of the audit, the official report that all of you received electronically. And these items will be advertised in the our newspapers of record, as well as posted to the website. And then the finalized and summarized, there were 0 findings and there were 0 recommendations, and this would be the second successive year after 2018's audit. With that, if there's any questions, feel free to ask. if you think of anything later, please email me. And if anybody would like an official hard copy bound version of the audit, I can have that Bowman send one to you as well. So if there's no other questions, I can turn it over to Mike. All right, Mike.
All right, Josh, thanks. Good evening, everybody. Josh, if you could pull up the redevelopers report, folks, I'm happy to tell you and you're happy to hear.
Mike, just 1 second. I have a commissioner joining.
Okay, good.
Jeff, you on? Jeff, do you hear? We connected?
Yeah, sorry about that. I just got in.
No
Sorry.
problem. All right. Thanks for joining in. We got you on the record now. Mike, back to you.
Yeah, let me just find my spot. Okay, so like I said, we're not going to do the whole redevelopment report, principally because progress on most fronts, but it's glacial. So I want to hit highlights of things that are new, and in particular, things near and dear to my heart is the Green Acres. So the report, if we could get it up, we're going to skip the first page because there's nothing new much to speak of there. But when we get to Green Acres, I've been pushing because that to me is the first milestone that really, really matters to me. It's in advance of even acquiring title. And that's because it's a prerequisite to the park. So as I bother them, they bother Green Acres, and we come to find out that the delay was engendered by Green Acres relocating their office and not even unpacked yet. They've moved over a month ago. Nevertheless, Nagowski was able to break through and had a meeting last Thursday, and he reports to me, and it's not in this report, that's why I wanted to update you, that there was an entire series of issues resolved at that meeting, and all of them were designed pretty much to smooth the way for this application, which we expect to be filed at the end of April. Now, I must say that Howard Long, as the borough solicitor, is the tip of the spear here on this, at least getting it through Green Acres, because the borough owns the property, and there are two issues that the redeveloper is solving that are the borough's for issues that arose historically from the water treatment plant and the water tower. But nevertheless, like I said, this is important to us, and it's one of the earlier milestones after we got through Tidelands. So some good news is that they waived the appraisal on the properties. That would have taken longer for the appraisals to be done. And it looks like the Bellmawr properties appraised, assessed at least, they're going by these assessments at $536,000. The replacement land in Bellmawr and Deptford, the 17.45 acres, is $575,000 assessments. The West Deptford parcel that we're getting in this deal, because of the diversion, is assessed by West Deptford at $2.7 million. Now, it's not to say you can put high rises on it, but that's the assessment that the redeveloper is presently paying while they're waiting to convey it to us as part of our diversion that allows us to develop our parcel of the property, because we previously dedicated to Green Acres, and to solve two of our Green Acre problems. So I don't know what they paid for it. I doubt it was 2.7, but that's the assessed value of it. Green Acres did impose a requirement on the redeveloper to subdivide the Green Acres parcel off. Now, it presently doesn't exist as a separate lot, so that has occasioned a pretty funky survey that has to not only follow a water line, which has been surveyed, but go up into the uplands throughout the three parcels to carve out this wetland, this Green Acres diversionary parcel. Nevertheless, with all that, it looks like they're going to be able to get a full application in by the end of April. And Green Acres has committed to the redeveloper to have it processed, if it's in by the end of April, to have it processed by the end of this year. So I'll keep the pressure on them, and they'll keep the pressure on DOT, and because I know that's what we all want. If you turn to the next page, there's not much new except for under NJDOT, the report in that last paragraph about a recent meeting. I think all you might know, or many of you might know more about this than I do. I wasn't there, and I know our town representatives were there. But there's apparently a move afoot with the governing body that needs further discussion and marinating. But I wanted to call to your attention because we're skipping over much of this update because it's not up to date. If you look at the next section below, I just want to correct a typo. VB, that should read year 2022 as opposed to 02, or we'd really be late. And I don't think, folks, well, yes, if we can go to the last page, second last page, park planning's at the top, Josh. Park planning, there we go. There's a reference to meetings, see the Deptford Township one. You'll recall last meeting I reported to you that Mr. Nagowski wanted to organize a meeting with Mayor Souter and Mr. Long to go over to Deptford. And that was a meeting that I helped Mayor Souter with a couple years ago. And I told you all about it, that when I got there, there were like, we were surrounded by 10 little Indians. There were all these functionaries from Deptford. Whereupon Chairman Philippek thought that we ought to go. First of all, the BRA wasn't even, included, and we all thought we should have a seat at that table, if only to show, a united team support. And the chairman indicated that he thought that our dual threats of Councilman Bider and DeAngelis should also be involved. I wrote a letter to that effect. Loop us in, schedules permitting. I think that's what both of the councilmen said anyway. To get this meeting going. Deptford isn't as motivated as we are. They don't have as much skin in the game, nor do they have hardly anything to gain, except what's left over after paying for our joint services agreement, right? And whatever's left over from the revenue deal that they make, which I assume will mirror ours. And with that, the meeting's still to be booked. That's really all I have by way of updating.
Mike,
there are some more things that Long's working on, but that's my report.
Yeah, Mike, I had just thrown in the update from our traffic engineer.
Okay, and I can't speak to it, but you've probably been over it with it. I think you have been over it with in my city emails.
Yeah, basically, it's just following in suit with the current version, working with them and all the stakeholders over at the borough. He touches on that meeting that was held January 24th, I believe it was. There were various representatives on the line, the county engineer, Kevin Paseka, a number of people from the borough were on the line. So basically it was just keeping everybody informed and having everything, kind of keep moving in line. I believe it ended with, and I'm sure Howard's on this, so, not trying to get in anybody else's kitchen. But I believed it, the DOT was requesting a resolution from both the borough and the county in support of the current version, which that's what's on the screen here. So that also got emailed to you in your files. So I don't believe much has changed there, if anything, from the last version of where everything was and where we were in agreement among everybody, I believe. So just something that maybe want to be revisited with Mr. Long, because again, their timelines, I believe they're talking about 2028 now, or close to. So hopefully, again, just keep everything moving and the pressure on, and things could maybe get done a little quicker. Any questions on that? If not, we can move to new business. All right. Brings us to new business. We'll begin with the official resolution, the pledging of the certification of the annual audit 2019 by the Board of Commissioners. Again, that resolution, along with an affidavit, which I will distribute separately via email for signatures, will need to be packaged and sent up to the DCA.
Josh, could you explain, because not everybody here has served on a governmental body before, about the certification. It essentially says that each commissioner who signs is certifying that they reviewed it. And look, typically that's so that they can know that they were cited for this or that. You've been 2 years in a row without a cite. So it's not as important, but I want them to understand, and you know, you can flesh it out because you've done these on behalf of the governing body too. They're essentially saying they've read it, whether it's online or in person, you know, hard copy, and that they understand.
Specifically, Mike, it's stating that they've read the schedule of findings and recommendations, which there were none. So,
okay. Is that really all it certifies? Just that they read the recommendations?
Additionally, it says, and basically the synopsis, which was up on the screen.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they're big about specifically the schedule of findings and recommendations. So, but that information will be included in the affidavit too. So, any other questions on that before we move on, or before I read the resolution? Okay, well, that will bring us to resolution number 03:023-22, resolution of the Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency pledging certification of the annual audit 2019 by the Board of Commissioners. So it's the motion, and there will be a roll call.
Yep, so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Bider.
Second.
Is that you, Jim?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, my head was down. Yeah, all right. All right, and then we'll go to a roll call. Chairman Philpott,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bider,
Yes.
Commissioner James D'Angelo,
Yes.
Commissioner Nick Capados,
Yes.
Commissioner Tom Whitman,
Excuse me.
Yes.
and Commissioner
Yes.
Jeff Simpson.
Yes.
All right, that is all in favor. Since they voted, Mike, I don't have to entertain any nays, right?
Agreed.
Right. Okay. Passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Brings us to resolution number 03:024-22, authorizing payment of outstanding bills.
So moved.
Thank you, Chairman.
Second it.
And I believe that was Mr. Whitman.
Yes.
All right, roll call on this too, gentlemen. Chairman Frank Philpott,
Yes.
Vice Chair Ray Bider,
Yes.
Commissioner Jim D'Angelo,
Yes.
Commissioner Nick Capados,
Yes.
and Commissioner Jeff Simpson.
Yes.
All right, all in favor. That concludes new business. Bring us to the public portion. I do not believe I see anybody on the line, but I'll give my customary 3-second delay just in case I missed it. That will conclude the public portion, and our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 19th. I have a motion for an adjournment.
I make the motion, and thanks everybody for coming on.
Second.
All right, thank you, Jeff, Mr. Simpson. All in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. All in favor.